What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the Sub Podcast. We are here today, Mike, Keith, and Louie. Keith, how you doing, man?
I'm doing all right, Mike. Hanging in there. How you doing?
I am doing amazing. Louie, how you doing?
Doing well, man. How you doing, bro?
Doing good. I'm very excited for this show because we're going to cover our top 5 favorite nostalgic TV shows that we grew up watching. So let's start it off. Number 5, Lewis.
I will not start until you address me correctly.
Louis.
my real name. All right, so my number 5 is a Cartoon Network cartoon. One of my favorites.
It's a cartoon?
No, Cartoon Network.
Yeah, it's a radio.
Cartoon Network cartoon.
Station, yeah. I'm very familiar.
Do they do live action shows now? Or do they still do cartoons?
Well, I have Hulu Live now, so I kind of ditched cable a while ago.
Yeah.
You should do it too. You'd save $5.
I've tried.
But my number 5 is Ed, Edd n Eddy. That show is a bunch of idiots in a neighborhood, and they just do a bunch of stupid shit. My favorite is Ed. Ed is just a complete idiot, and he reminds me of myself. Butter toast.
Yeah, Butter Toast, yeah. Great show. I remember watching that too. It was awesome. I remember that. And they always try to go around and try and get like quarters for jawbreakers and stuff like that. The show was awesome.
You still watch it.
It was awesome.
You still watch it.
Yeah, if it was on.
Yeah, if it was on. I probably still watch it too. It was awesome.
Definitely.
All right. My number 5 is also from the Cartoon Network, and it was called Codename Kids Next Door. If you guys remember that show, it was about all these kids, man, who were in these. You guys might have known about this. A quick thing was they're on this secret organization. They hated adults. And they just did, went around saving the world from adults and stuff like that. And I remember like watching that show when I was like 9 or 10 or whatever like that. And they talked about like teenagers. He's like, we hate teenagers. I was like, I'm gonna be a teenager in like 3 years. Is this stuff gonna happen to me or whatever? And I remember watching that show, but that was a classic show. They literally made like weapons and stuff out of like 2x4s. It was awesome.
Who was your favorite guy on that show? Was it number 2? Number 2.
Number 2 is Jake. Number 4, I resonated with number 4.
That's why he doesn't come on the podcast. He tells me he's gonna call me fat.
Call it as I see it, but no, I'm just kidding, Jake.
Call it as I see it. Oh my.
I'm kidding, Jake. I love you. Love you, man. Love to you. But number 4, I think, resonated more with me. I was a spitfire as a kid. I had an attitude. I didn't really listen to anybody. I got in trouble. Got in trouble a lot. Yeah, I still get in trouble a lot. So yeah, Codename Kids Next Door. Mike, what was your number 5?
My number 5. So I went through a little phase. Actually, in middle school, it was I went through a little phase in middle school where, I'm gonna watch some old cartoons. So I fell in love with Scooby Doo.
Yeah, that's a great show.
Scooby Dooby Doo, where are you?
Yeah, I used to watch it all the time too. You remember that they had a Scrappy Doo?
I love Scrappy Doo is my favorite.
Yeah.
I love Scrappy Doo. People didn't like Scrappy Doo though, and I guess in the Scooby Doo world, Scrappy Doo wasn't liked.
Really?
Like Shaggy didn't like. Yeah.
Do you guys remember? They had like this like it was Scooby Doo, but they had like a spin-off where like everyone was like kids in that. Did you guys remember that?
Update Scooby Doo. Yes, that was one of my favorites.
Yeah.
I used to be on Boomerang all the time.
Yeah.
See, you guys like I liked Boomerang. Like Boomerang was Cartoon Network spin-off with all the old stuff, like Tom and Jerry, Scooby Doo.
Yeah.
They had like the old Batman, which I liked on there. They had like all Yogi Bear, like they had all like the old, like I liked that stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't like Scooby Doo fruit snacks though.
Yeah, those are good. Can't go wrong with fruit snacks.
Yes. The only thing I hated about that was that I think the live movie. I wasn't a big fan of the live action movie. Both of them.
Oh yeah, those are bad.
Both
1 and 2.
I was not a big fan of those.
I didn't like those movies either, to be honest with you.
No, Scooby Doo like had all different series and stuff, but the original, was nothing beats the original. But yeah, definitely Scooby Doo, big influence. I was Scooby Doo for Halloween a few times.
Were you? I could be Shaggy, dude. We should do that.
Yeah,
I'll be Shaggy.
You can look like Scooby Doo.
I could be Shaggy.
Definitely.
Zoinks.
Could be Shaggy.
Yeah, Zoinks.
Louie can be Velma.
I'm like, Stu, let's get out of here.
Where are my glasses?
I'm majestic. I can do it all. I'm like Dennis Rodman.
That's right, baby.
That's right. All right, moving on. Number 4. Keith?
I'll go number 4 for me was Drake and Josh, man. Classic show. I love that show. About 2 stepbrothers moving in. You know, they don't really know each other. Then they warm up and become the best of buds. My favorite episode was they talked about the game sphere. I don't know if you guys have seen that one. Yeah. And it was just like they came out new game station. It was supposed to be like a knockoff version of the GameCube or something back in the day. And like Josh was like, he's holding it up. He's like, it's in the box. He's like, the game sphere. It's spherical. It's spherical. Oh my God, classic. More just like stuff on the top of my head. Freaking like Josh was like doing his driving test, and, like hit Oprah with a car or something like that. Back then he was like in love with like Oprah. He used to watch Oprah every day. Yes. He's like, oh my God, I ran over Oprah. Just stuff like that, dude. That show is awesome. Oh man.
Yeah, I remember the freaking I think Drake was like, I hope they cancel Oprah, and Josh was like,
take that back. Yeah.
Headaches.
Yeah. You give me headaches.
The best, my favorite scene is when like delivery guy comes up to the door, and he's like, package for Josh Nichols. Package for Josh Nichols, and Josh is like, thank you, have a great day. He's like, don't tell me what to do. That's the best. Oh, that's the best.
Wish choked on my water. That was awesome.
So many good lines from that show. Oh my God. God.
Or I always love to I use it when I teach. I'll be like, your ping is no match for my pong.
Call me a liar, call you a truther.
Yeah. Oh God.
Oh man, that show was awesome.
Louie?
My number 4 is Sweet Life and Zack and Cody. That's one of my favorite shows. I honestly don't remember too many of the episodes, but I just remember that was the show I would just watch all the time as a kid, and I loved Mosby. I loved Zack and Cody, obviously, and the shit they would cause. So it was a good show for me, for sure.
I had the biggest crush on Ashley Tisdale.
Yep.
Still?
Yeah, the blonde. I don't know what her name was in the show, but yeah, definitely it was her and Vanessa Hudgens. That was my 2 crushes at that time. Number 4, All That.
Great
All
show.
That. Oh, I used to love that show. I like the older. There was like 2 like the 90s one, and they used to rerun. The newer one was like cool too. Mm-hmm. Like the 90s where they had Keenan and Kel on there, and they had Amanda Bynes, and so welcome to the Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. Can I take your order? Like that was
man, I love that.
Super Dude.
That was good stuff.
And they always used to have like the best musical people on there too. Like they had Backstreet Boys on there. Like like they always had like top-notch musical acts on there. Like they were just great. Yeah, it's crazy to see like how like Keaton Thompson is like so good.
Yeah,
like he's still on SNL. Like I find him hysterical. I don't like every skit he does, but like I don't watch. I'm not a big SNL guy, but like I watch some of the funny stuff. Like I'll watch like some of the skits on YouTube, but I don't make it a point to watch it. But like it's crazy to think like he was on there. Like Amanda Bynes was on there. Like yeah, it's. Great show. Only thing I don't like is like I don't like them bringing it back. Like I don't like these re-edits they're doing. Like
no, I don't like that either. I like the original. I think they do that too much nowadays. Where like they just they take old shows and they start to give them like a new twist. I hate that. It's just like come up with your own thing. You know, be original.
Like it's
all the time. I hate it.
It's too kiddie now. Like I could see like Drake and Josh was always like that teenager show. Like it was like. Yeah. All that I wouldn't sit there and watch all that nowadays. Like it's a kid's I don't know how to describe it. But like Drake and Josh, if they redid it for like a movie, I'd probably
I'd watch it in a heartbeat.
Yeah, it's not like there's new characters coming in. Like they did like Boy Meets World, they did Girl Meets World. Like I'm not gonna watch that. Like I don't want to watch. Like if they're gonna redo it, like do Drake and Josh today, or like all that with the cast from I don't. I would love to see a Good Burger too, though. That was one of my favorite movies.
That was a good movie.
That
was a good movie.
Have all of them come back.
It's been a while since I've seen it, though.
Yeah, me too. No, all right, yeah, that's my number 4. What's your number 3?
My number 3 is. Oh wait, are we going? Is it Keith's number 3, right?
It doesn't matter if you want to go.
Oh, okay, I'll go. So my number 3 is Fairly Oddparents. That show was pretty cool. I just loved everything about it. How you could just wish and something would, as a little kid, or as someone who was younger, it wasn't something I'd watch in my teenage years, but as like a 7 or 8-year-old, just watching that and watching like fairies grant whatever wish you want. It was pretty cool, and the storylines like with Timmy's dumb parents, and then you'd have Crocker, Fairly Oddparents. But yeah, one of my favorite shows.
Do that again.
It's a one-time thing, just like Rick's.
Don't forget the Crimson Chin.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the Crimson Chin.
Or Icky Vicky.
Chip Skylark. Yeah.
So
my shiny.
The ladies love Chips. Yeah.
My shiny teeth in me, baby.
You know, that was a good song. Like, honestly, I could listen to that right now. I'm like, all right, this is pretty good.
Yeah, Icky Vicky. Icky Vicky was the jam for me.
Yeah.
Eric, I mean Keith.
See, you did it too. I'm not the only one that does it.
My number 3 is Hey Arnold. I don't know if you guys remember that.
Yeah.
Great show. I mean, I'm pretty sure it took place in New York, and they followed the football head Arnold around, with his best friend, and just went over, and Helga, and all that stuff. They made a movie out of that too, where because the guy lives with his grandparents because his parents are missing. I guess they're like some kind of adventurers or whatever, and they he never found his parents, until this movie came out, after the fact. I don't forget how long it was released after the whole series was done, but great show. Not much more I could say. I'm just super nostalgic about it.
Yeah, my number 3, I have a tie because they just both had huge impact on my childhood. It's number 3, Drake and Josh. I mean, I'll still sit down and watch it to this day if it's on. I could still watch it. Yeah. I could still sit there and watch episodes of it. I'll still laugh, just how funny and stupid it was.
Yeah, it was awesome.
The same thing with this other show. No, my two-way tie. It's Drake and Josh, and then it's the one that precursed it, Kenan and Kel. I loved Kenan and Kel. Kenan and Kel was it was just fun, funny. Two great shows. I don't know. I think they did it. They probably Kenan and Kel came first, and then it was Drake and Josh. Both those shows, it was just hilarious, hysterical, and most of those guys are still relevant. All of them are basically still relevant today. I mean, Kenan Thompson's still on SNL. Josh Peck is huge on the internet. People still talk about Drake, and Kel, I think, is on the new thing of all that. So it's they're all. I loved both shows. I thought they were funny, and it wasn't purely kids based. It was comedy. An adult could sit there and watch it with their kid and find it funny. Teenagers could watch it. That's why I could still sit and watch both shows. Yeah, Megan. Kel used to love Who Loves Orange Soda. Yeah. The best is when he's in the truck and he had a dream that he was in a truck full of ham and orange soda. This is so funny. But yeah, Kenan and Kel and Drake and Josh. Number 2, Keith.
I'll go. My number 2, actually, Louie, you already said it. It's Fairly Oddparents. I used to love that show. And later on, they started adding new characters like Poof and all that. I got out of it, but before that, growing up, I loved that. Classic show, like you said, Louie. You can wish for anything you want. And this big ass rule book though, where there was certain things or whatever. But I love it. Timmy's parents are idiots. Freaking my favorite, Timmy's dad used to always hate his neighbor Dinkelberg and be like, Dinkelberg, the stupidest shit. That was awesome. Dinkelberg. It's over, literally, his someone would hit the curb in front of his house, or his lawn wouldn't be cut right or whatever. His one piece of grass wouldn't be cut. If someone cut his lawn, he'd be like, Dinkelberg.
You freaking hated Dinkelberg.
Yeah. So
who's the guy that sounded like Arnold Schwartz? What was his name?
Oh, Jordan Von Strangle.
Jordan Von Strangle.
Yeah.
Timmy Turner.
Timmy Turner, I've come for you.
My God.
I love that show.
Louie.
To take your fairies away, Timmy.
Louie.
My number two is Drake and Josh. We've already talked about it in serious lengths, but I will say one of my favorite parts of Drake and Josh is when Drake has the Spanish robot. He's like, por favor.
yeah.
Por favor.
Crazy
No.
Steve.
And then Crazy Steve. Yeah, a lot of like my favorite episodes are in the theater where Josh is working, and when his hound's like, "Hey, there's some hoodlums making up a scene in Theater 9," and she's like, "I'm not working. I can't do that. Go get those hoodlums." All right, fine. And then he goes and he gets his ass kicked by the hoodlums.
Oh my god.
Or when Crazy Steve gets crazy, like when there was an episode where Crazy Steve was like acting crazy, and I think Josh had to sing him like some kind of childhood folk song.
Yes, calm him down. Yeah.
We'll be coming around the mountain.
The one thing I hated about that show is just how it ended. Like, it didn't end.
Yeah.
No,
There was no ending. Like, they just ended it, and that was it. It was over. Yeah, as a kid, you don't realize it, but like, I don't know. It was just kind of. It's just over. It was.
Yeah, there's no closure.
Remember the movies? The movies were funny.
Yeah, they were.
Go Hollywood.
Christmas movies.
Drake and Josh Go Hollywood. Yeah, they did like a Christmas movie like 3 years later.
What's that little Spanish voice? He's like, "Merry Christmas," or something like that. Yeah, it was stupid.
My number 2. I didn't get to watch this. Like, it was always on reruns. Like, every morning, 6 a.m. I would wake up, and I got props here too. It's my man Doug Funny.
Wow.
Shout out to the Aubins. They got me this for my birthday. They got me Doug Funny, Skeeter, and Patty Mayonnaise. I always loved Doug. Doug is my number 1 favorite cartoon of all time. Doug would probably make my top 5 shows of all time. I used to sit and watch it. I bought this. I was like 11 years old, and I made my mom buy. This is like some knockoff DVD set from some random guy who created it, burnt like all the episodes, and I still have it to this day.
Yeah, that's such a great show too, and you could tell it's like from the '90s because the guy's literally wearing Doug. He's wearing like a sweater vest. You know no one does that anymore.
That was the first Nickelodeon cartoon ever.
Was it really?
It was that, Rugrats, and Ren and Stimpy. Because I used to research all this. I used to research all this.
You guys remember? I don't know if you guys remember this. You guys remember Nickelodeon used to have their own like what's it called, like I can't remember the word for it, but they had Pick Boy as like their mascot. I should say.
Stick.
Yeah, they had Pick Boy.
It was the stick, right? That the Ah man.
No, but I don't remember.
No, they used to have some like toothpick, or like some.
They literally had a superhero named Pick Boy who would like go around like picking like talk about like your favorite shows, and he would like pick them and stuff. They used to have like game shows and stuff on Nickelodeon too back in the day. It was awesome back then. Now it just sucks. I don't watch it no more, but
I want to know what that guy's name was. I want to know it. Yeah, but Doug. I always loved Doug. I could still sit and watch Doug. I just say he was so good. I don't know. I feel like I could compare to him when I was a kid. I don't know. It's so weird. Like, he was just like a sweetheart. Like, he never wanted to hurt anyone's feelings. Like, that was me. I felt like I had a lot of commonalities with him. Where is this? Yeah. So before we do that, just some honorable mentions. What do you guys have any honorable mentions about?
Money.
Yeah, I got
of course.
I got a lot. Like Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends is off the top of my head. You got Chowder, maybe Flapjack or something like that. Like dumb shows. Chowder was awesome. It's like a guy wanted to be like an apprentice chef. He's a fat like raccoon, just like walking around trying to get approval from everybody, like baking like stupid things. And there's a lot that I can't remember that I grew up watching that I'm sure like if I remembered I'd be like, oh wow, but like there was a lot of shows I used to watch back in the day.
I would say
Stick.
I would say Billy and Mandy is up there.
Oh, the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. That was a great one, yeah.
What's that show? Total Drama Island. That was a little later. That was pretty cool to watch. That was like some kind of like a reality cartoon
TV it's supposed to be like
show.
Survivor, yeah. It's supposed to be like Survivor almost. Like now they got like I think now they have like this like one where they're all kids and it's like stupid. I hate when I do that. They go back and like change it. It's like it's supposed to be like a
Jimmy Neutron's up there.
Yeah.
I figured out who it was. Sorry. Stickly.
Stickly. Okay, yeah. That sounds familiar, yeah.
Yeah. All right, sorry.
Familiar.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Now, please let me explain. Here's why. Number one, it's free. What's better than free? Number two, there's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcasts right from your phone or computer. You can literally go outside, record whatever you want to, and upload it. That's that easy. Anchor also will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and many more streaming services. Here's another great point. You can make more money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. Okay? You can make as much money as you want, and there's no minimum on how many listeners will need to listen to it. And lastly, it's everything you need to make a podcast, a successful podcast, in one place. So they make it super easy for you. Here's what you need to do right now. If you're interested in making a podcast, you need to download the free Anchor app or go to Anchor, ANCHOR.FM to get started now. You do not want to miss out. Get started again. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm.com to get started now.
Teen Titans.
Teen Titans, yeah, great
for me.
Great show. Absolutely, yeah, that was a great one.
Yeah, I was always a Nickelodeon guy, so all Disney Channel too, like Even Stevens, Lizzie McGuire.
You see, I was a Cartoon Network guy and a Nickelodeon guy. You know, I never went over to Disney Channel. Just for whatever reason, I just couldn't get into it.
I like
Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network.
For me,
Courage
it was Disney
Dog
Channel.
Nickelodeon. You guys remember that? Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a weird one.
Yeah, that was weird, but like it came off. It had the good messages, but it came off. It was super weird though, you know. But the overall vibe was like it was trying to be like pleasant.
Yep. Yeah. Even Stevens, Lizzie McGuire, Jet Jackson. There used to be a show called So Weird. I used to watch. It was on Disney Channel, and then you had like Hey Arnold wasn't in my top 5, but that's definitely like top 10. Hey Arnold. You remember Action League Now? Or Kablam? Kablam. Action League Now used to be like the dolls, the action figures, and they did a whole show about them like fighting crime.
The Amanda Show.
The Amanda Show, the Dancing Lobsters. Yeah.
And the show is funny.
Ned's Declassified.
Yes,
Wow,
I used to copy the tips and do them. I used to do the tips.
Did you really?
Yeah.
You used to, like, write them down. You used to like get like a notebook and like write them down.
Yes. Oh yeah.
I didn't do that, but that was a great show.
Like the first day of school, I used to watch the first day of school episode and like copy everything he did. Oh yeah.
Cookie with
Did they work out for you?
Cookie.
Cookie, Mosley, and Ned.
Some of it did. Yeah. Yeah, and then you had oh man.
So many great shows.
Yeah, this is just Zoe 101. I liked Zoe 101.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was the one I forgot off my.
I liked Zoe 101 definitely.
I love the theme song. I don't know why the song is so good. It's such a girly song, but I love that song.
Yeah. It was so different too, like from the other shows, just the way it was done.
I had a big crush on her.
Yeah, me too. Rocco's Modern Life.
Yeah, Rocco. That was a weird show. Very weird.
It was a weird show. And then there was a couple others. Rugrats always.
Yeah, Rugrats is good. I used to watch that a lot when I was super young. Yeah.
I used to like Rugrats too, and there's just so many. Nickelodeon was definitely big. I don't think Nickelodeon's as big as it was.
Oh no, definitely not.
SpongeBob was. I kind of geared away from it as time went on. I just didn't like it. But I mean, SpongeBob. I definitely used to watch SpongeBob all the time. But I was always into like more of the real shows like Drake and Josh, like the real people shows. Like Are You Afraid of the Dark? I got into later on.
Yep.
Double Dare, Guts. Remember those at all? Legends of the Hidden Temple.
No, I don't remember those.
What are you, some kind of European VPN watching these channels?
Yeah.
They were on.
Yes.
They were on. You know, you had like I'm just looking at like I got some of them right here. Like I'm just like the Angry Beavers, Cat Dog.
Oh, a Cat Dog was a good one.
Yeah. Romeo, remember Romeo?
No.
I think so. Yeah, I remember that.
All Grown Up.
All Grown Up, yeah, I remember that.
The brothers Garcia, I remember that. I used to watch that.
Everybody Hates Chris.
Yeah. There's so many of them. Cat Dog.
You guys remember that show? It was on like a Nick at Night or whatever. It was like the show about like George Lopez or whatever, and it's like whole family.
George Lopez. Oh yeah, I love that show.
What was it? Was it the name of that show?
George Lopez
show or something like that. That was a great show.
That was one of the worst times of the day. I used to hate when like at 8:30.
It was at 9 o'clock. Yeah, 8 o'clock.
Like Drake and Josh are like Keenan and Kel, and at 9 o'clock it'd go to Nick at Night and be Full House. And I used to hate Full House.
Oh, I hate Full House.
I used to hate when Full House came on. Yeah. I'm like, now I know it's time. The day's over. No. But anyway, let's continue. There's so many great shows. Number one, show, your childhood, Keith.
You know, Louie's wearing the shirt. I gotta go with SpongeBob Squarepants. You know, I remember back in the day when I was like super young. I'm talking maybe I was like 7. You know, what SpongeBob I think came out in like 1997, and I literally watched every show, every episode. When there was a new episode they were talking about it's coming out on Friday, I watched every single episode. Probably, I don't know, for like the first like couple, like maybe 6 years. It's like maybe to like 2000, like I don't know, 2004, for example. I watched every single show, dude. It was awesome. My favorite one by far, though, is like a tie between there's when like SpongeBob and like Squidward were delivering that pizza, and like they were like coming across like this rock or whatever. He's like, "Oh, the pioneers used to ride these babies for miles," and Squidward was like, "It's just a stupid boulder," and he's like, "It's not a boulder, it's a rock." It was just so stupid. And then another one. It was like a short sketch. It wasn't like the whole main part of the episode, but like Squidward came over to like talk to like Patrick. He's like, "Hey, don't you gotta be stupid somewhere else?" He's like, and he looks at his watch and he's like, "Not until 4." That show has just so many gems to it. And then of course there's old school stuff for like the SpongeBob was like trying to make those like Krabby Patties perfectly, and this one guy came in. He's like, "You forgot the pickles." He was hiding them all.
Bubble bass.
Bubble bass.
Plankton, 1% plankton, 99% hot gas.
Yeah.
Or chocolate.
Yeah.
Chocolate.
Yeah. That show had so many gems.
It really did. It started turning towards like the original SpongeBob is amazing. I really, it's one of the best ever. But like I think as time went on, like I outgrew it. But I also think the episodes weren't that great either.
I gotta correct myself because my actually all-time favorite episode was the Bubble Bowl episode when they played like the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That was my favorite.
Like I think with SpongeBob, like I think up until that movie, like I loved the SpongeBob SquarePants movie when I was a kid. Like up until that movie, I think it was great, and then that's when I think it kind of like just went. It didn't go down, but like it kind of disinterested me after that.
I think I kept up with it maybe until like 2008, maybe even I don't remember ballpark. But like after that, I don't know. I just like stopped watching it. You know, it got to be too much. But
the classics are still great.
Awesome. Yeah, I always loved that show.
Yeah, absolutely. Louis?
Yeah, not to copy you, Keith, but my number one is obviously SpongeBob SquarePants as well. Anybody who knows me personally, I will quote SpongeBob for every real life situation. I will say stupid things, and they just come to me. They're literally ingrained in my brain, and I have them for any it's like this useless knowledge I have in my head. But like, dude, I just quote SpongeBob all the time, and it's the stupidest thing. From either Patrick to Sandy to the freaking Mr. Krabs. Like every character had like some special traits about them that was like funny. That was funny.
SpongeBob kept failing his driver's test. He's like,
I thought it was hilarious sometimes.
Can't drive a car.
Yeah, dude. There was an episode where these guys, like with Sandy, they were like, "Oh, you can't go out of water," and they're like in land, and it's just a bunch of puppets. So like action. What is this? Yeah. But like, oh man, there's so many episodes I can't even quote from. I just think I say a lot of stupid things like, is horseradish an instrument?
Yeah,
horseradish.
Is mayonnaise an instrument?
I think my favorite episode is poop. People order our patties. Our favorite video. Totally.
Like I just hit someone head with a rock or something like that. Those are
a whole lot of hoopla.
I felt like over the past like year or two, like just really like working with the kids and like I've kind of brought back like the memory of like Goofy Goober Rock. Like I played it all the time. Kids love it. Like F is for friends, you do stuff together. You like I remember, and then the best is like when I'm teaching, I'll be like, use your imagination, and the kids like all start laughing.
Yeah, that episode was
that was when I was a kid.
Yeah, dude.
But that doesn't
when they're hitting the cardboard box and then just like there's all this action. It's like do. It's like what the hell is going on here? They're just looking at.
I used to have the CD-ROM game for like the PC. I used to play all day long. Like the first one they did, I could never beat it.
Yeah, same here. I used to have a Game Boy game, dude. It was like the Spongebob. I don't know if it was the movie or it was like something, but like I could never beat it either. I was only like 8 years old or whatever, 7. I had no idea what I was doing, but that game was hard.
I'm gonna incorporate my soft stool of the week right here. So soft stool of the week. Hold up, everybody.
Okay.
All right. So there was an episode of SpongeBob. This is how much I love SpongeBob because I love SpongeBob religiously, which is weird, but I did, and I'm sure a lot of kids did too. So there was an episode where they'd put jellyfish jelly on the Krabby Patties, right?
Yeah.
So I did this. My mom bought me a hamburger from Burger King. Yeah. And I put jelly on my hamburger and I ate it.
How was it?
And I liked it. I liked it.
I'd be surprised. Probably was good.
Wow.
If I had to do that now, hell no shot. But I did that, and my mom caught me doing it, and she was like, "What the hell are you doing? What the hell are you?" But I was like, hey, it's SpongeBob. The dudes loved it. You can slap it everywhere. Jellyfish jelly, you know the song or whatever. But
oh man, actually, I actually came up with another soft stools. But Mike, I'll let you finish and do your number one, and then I'll tell you my soft stool story. It happened recently, actually, last week.
No, it's like SpongeBob for you was like that influential show. Like, and I'm realizing now how much like it had an influence, but like. What did you say? Like SpongeBob was like, I forgot what you said, Louie. Like you said it wasn't an influence. It was I don't know.
I just have so many lines like from that show in my brain. I just can't forget them. I don't forget them.
The only thing I liked about Nick at Night was my number one show of all time, and I've been watching since I was a kid. I grew up on the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air reruns, and that's my number one show. That's my number one show on any list. Including this one, because I grew up watching. I used to watch this at 7 years old, 6 years old. Like, I could if we were ever able to figure out how to do a sticker reaction video and post it to YouTube, you could test me and be like, here's a scene, what's coming up next, and I could tell you the exact lines. Bare maybe a couple episodes where I might not know some things. I've seen every episode probably about 50 to 200 times each. I love every episode. That will always be my favorite show of all time. Will Smith is my favorite actor. When he cries, like there are so many emotional, like when his father comes back into his life then leaves again, like I cried at the end of that. Yeah. When he gives Carlton drugs by accident, like that was sad. Like when they did the sad moments.
Yeah.
Whenever I see Will Smith cry, it's like I cry. It's Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Like I know literally everything is so ingrained.
I love when the song comes on in the club. I just lose it. I freaking lose it.
Yeah.
Lose it.
Oh my god. Yeah, that's my number one show of all time. There's just so many great scenes. My favorite is when like Carlton, they lock Will up in the stinking thing up in like a cabin, and he's stuck in there. The girl's playing a trick. Lisa's playing a trick on him, and like he comes back and. He's like, I left Lisa up there. And Carlton's like, what? And Carlton just runs around the whole set just screaming. And he's doing the top. And then the best, too, is when they're doing the jump on it at Las Vegas because they lost all their money. And Will Smith picks up Carlton and just flings him across the room. Like, oh, man, those never get old. I can watch those every single day, all day long. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air is number one. Always will. On any list. Number one.
Definitely, it's up there. I mean,
number one.
I didn't really think of it, to be honest with you. I did watch it, not that much, but I did watch it, and it was a great show every time I watched it. Did it air late? It used to air late, right?
Yeah, that's like the only time I like Nick at Night. It had that show had as much like influence on me as a kid. Like it was that and Michael Jackson. Like those were the two adult things that had like the biggest influence. Not even sports. I had no interest in sports until like I got into middle school. But it was like Will Smith, Michael Jackson, two biggest stars to me when I was a kid. Like, and I knew nothing about them like I do now. Like, but like, always super big influences.
Hey, I got a soft stool that I just remembered actually when we were doing this. You guys want to hear it? It's a pretty quick one.
Here we go.
All right, so this is a quick one, but last week, or it might have been 2 weeks ago actually, me, my brother Eric, and Jake were playing team up or whatever, right? And we were just like playing randomly because we were bored. We had nothing else to do. So Jake, I think, played 2001 Lakers. I think he played as Kobe Bryant, and my brother and Eric and I were on the same team. And I played as Jordan, and he played as Pippen, right? And halfway throughout the game, I think it was like after halftime, Eric's shorts on Scottie Pippen, his shorts literally glitched, so you could see like Scottie Pippen's like up to his like waist right here. You could like see his like leg wraps like on his legs, dude. And I was laughing so hard. And Eric was like, "Come on, man, give me the ball. They'll be too distracted, but look at my crotch to like play defense on me." Dude, I cried laughing because as Mike, as you know, and Louie, I don't know if you know this, but like we have terrible internet connection, so like we every time we play, like I like lag, Eric lags, obviously because of the same internet. And one time, and Mike, that you know this is like a quick short story to like prelude all this, you know, is that we were playing a game one time or whatever, and the court got glitched. And because we couldn't step on or off, we had to like dashboard the game, turn it off, and restart it because we didn't get off. And Eric's like, "Oh, my court's glitched." And like there's this running gag that Mike started. He's like, "Oh, Eric, your shorts probably glitched." And then when that because and then like it was a running gag, and the shorts actually glitched in the game, and I died laughing. I was literally crying so hard. Oh my god! He's like, "Give me the ball though. I won't be able to play defense. I mean, it'd be too distracted." Oh my god! I was crying laughing. It was awesome. But yeah, that's my bonus soft stool of the week, since you already did one. That was awesome though. All right, you guys want to recap these shows because you got way off track?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah,
it's all yours.
All right, number 5, Codename Kids Next Door. 4, Drake and Josh. 3, Hey Arnold. 2, Fairly Oddparents. And number 1, Spongebob Squarepants.
My 5 is Ed, Edd and Eddy. Number 4 is Sweet Life, Zach and Cody. 3 is Fairly Oddparents. 2 is Drake and Josh, and 1 is obviously SpongeBob.
The one and only.
You like Krabby Patties, don't you, Squidward?
Yeah.
Number 5 for me, Scooby Doo. Number 4, All That. 3, tie with Keenan and Kel and Drake and Josh. 2 was Doug. And number 1, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Always and forever. Any final thoughts?
This was a hard list to make, as I'm sure it was for you guys. There was a lot of shows that I watched back in the day that stuck with me, and I'm sure if I actually did some more research and like I dug a little bit deeper, I'd find like gems, like you said, like Cat Dog and stuff like that I completely forgot about, but as a kid that I loved. But I mean, this was a pretty hard list to make, and I did have a lot of runners up. You know what I mean? As I'm sure you guys did.
Yeah, I mean, I think I feel the same way as well. I think there's a lot of shows that left out that we probably don't even remember. They're like, oh crap, like that one. Like Mike had a couple ones and you had a couple ones. I was like, oh, I forgot about that. Like Code Kids Next Door, whatever. I don't know what it's called, but that show was one of my favorites too, and I honestly even forgot about that. I think would be cool if we did I enjoyed doing this podcast because it kind of brought up some of the nostalgic emotions I used to have towards these shows and put me in a better place and a better time. So this was a cool podcast to do for sure.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, yeah. I enjoyed it too.
Yeah, the first two like just came right onto the paper. Like it just happened. Like the first 2 were so easy for me. After that, it was tough.
Yeah,
it was very tough. I had the first 2 set in stone. Like after that, it's tough. It's like when you rank songs, like rank things like that. It's just
Mm-hmm.
it's tough. It's tough, but yeah. If you want to leave your list, you definitely can on our Facebook page. We'd love to hear. And if you have any ideas about episodes, we'd love to cover them. You can find us on Anchor.fm. We're streaming on all different platforms. If you'd like to sponsor us, Louie, do your prayers. Yeah. If you'd like to sponsor us, even if it's 99 cents, I'd be very grateful for it. So you can do that on our Anchor page. Yes, please.
Yeah, fill us the cup.
Please.
Yeah.
Please. So, anyway, hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll talk soon.